Welcome to this tutorial in which I'm going to talk about the UKCAT abstract reasoning test questions, and there where you have set A, set B, 6 of each type, and then you're asked to which set test questions belong, A, B or neither, and you need to look for the rule or pattern for each of the sets. Now I'm going to talk about compound rules, and compound rules are made from two simple rules. And they tend to occur when you have a situation where everything's looking kind of similar, but perhaps a little bit jumbled up as well. Because what we can see here is that we've got groups of 3 circles or 4 circles mixed across both sets. So there's not a simple rule that, well, if you're in 3, you're in set A, if you're in 4, you're in set B, because they're mixed across. Now, similarly for these lines here, we've got some short lines, and we've got some long lines, and again they're mixed across set A and set B. So it can mean that on the face of it that you're looking and you're saying, well, everything's looking pretty similar and there's no obvious rule jumping out of me. But if we break it down into the 2 elements of 3 or 4 circles and say that's an option, and then short line, long line, and that's another option, then there are actually 4 different ways that we can pair these up. We can pair up 3 circles with short line, we can pair up 4 circles with long line, we can pair up 3 circles with long line and 4 circles with short line. Now, to make a rule for set A, we could choose 2 of these, so I could say that 3 circles and short line is set A, and that's what we're seeing there, 3 circles and short line. But we can also have that 4 circles and long line, like we've got there, that's also a set A. And then these rules can be unique compared to set B, where we can have the other combination, and that's what we see, 3 circles long line or 4 circles and short line. So then going back to the actual questions here, I can put in the answers. 4 and a short line, 4 and a long line is A, and 3 and a long line is B. So to summarize, this is a compound rule because it's made from 2 simple rules combined in different ways. And the difficult part is knowing that you've got a compound rule, and a clue is this similarity that we see across all of the shapes. And patterns being mixed across both groups. But I mean, to be honest, finding the simple rules can be very straightforward, or it can be very difficult. If there's something a bit strange or quirky going on, I'd have a look at that, and often it is necessary to get counting the number of shapes or number of sides and so forth. Let's have a look at this next example. Once again, there is a similarity across the shapes with arrows, rectangles, and sometimes triangles, but no obvious consistent pattern. There are triangles in set A and in set B, but not all the time. And then these arrows, they point to red, to black, or to white rectangles. Again, that's mixed across the 2 groups. So we want to know what the simple rules are, and let's think about whether we've got a triangle or not. That can be a simple rule, includes triangle or is rectangles or squares only. And then in terms of where the arrow is pointing to, it could point to black or it could point to white. That can be our second rule. And once again, we can pair these up. If we've got rectangles and squares only and points to black, that's what we see occurring in set A. But also, if we've got includes triangle, it will point to white, so that's also a set A. Whereas the other combination, includes triangle, points to black, or no triangle points to white, that is a set B. So now I can complete these questions. And that last one's a neither because we don't have it pointing to a triangle at all. Once again, the variety appears to be equally spread across both sets, making this a likely candidate to be a compound rule. The simple rules in this case are fairly simple. I'd be looking at the arrow as something strange, something to have a look at what it's pointing at. Now, noticing whether there's a triangle or not, that might not be quite so obvious. and it might be helpful to be looking at the questions which you're set. That might make it more obvious that sometimes you're given a triangle to look at, and sometimes you're not. Okay, to download these notes, I've put a link at the bottom of the page here, and I've also included 5 more questions of this type for you to have a look at. And just having a look at them briefly, you might see that they're good candidates for compound rules, and you might also be able to start thinking what kind of simple rules might be going on in those. Okay, good luck, and thanks for watching.